For the next 20 minutes, we're going to be answering your questions live on air. We had some great ones written in today, all about TikTok and Instagram. But if you're joining me live, go ahead and drop your questions into the comments. If you're on the replay, go ahead and leave a message for me in the comments. I will save it and answer that next week for you. Let's go ahead and dive in. We got right off the bat questions about TikTok live streaming. So people want to know, how are people using a photo for their live streaming? And another person jumped in and said, I want to go live with just add a photo. Can I do that? So let's talk about this. When people are live streaming on TikTok, we know that the API is closed, which means third-party apps do not have access right now. Although there are some exceptions, there are a couple of people who are beta testing being able to access that stream key so that they can use something like OBS or Melon from Logitech or even BeLive to then live stream on TikTok. Very, very, very few of us have it. I don't have access to it yet. Most of us do not and will not for a little bit. So right now, you can exclusively go live from inside of the app. With that said, you do not have the ability to screen share while you are on a live stream, but some people do have access to the green screen capability. Now, we have videos on this. We're going to link those for you so that you can check those out. And you want to make sure that anything that you want to show as your background, you already have in your camera roll. So you can't figure this out while you're going. You do have to have that ready to go inside of your camera roll, and then you have to set up green screen before you go live. So you can't access it while you're on air as of right this second. This may change in the future, but right this second, you have to set that up before you go live, and then you have to have a green screen for the duration of your live stream. So this is not something that you can remove. You will be cut out and you'll be in front of whatever you put behind you. So just be prepared for that and be prepared to kind of scoot out of the way if you need to show specific words or things on screen so you can actually check that out. Now, we do want to point out to you, this is a pro tip for you. You should not ever be live streaming with just a static image. That is very poor user engagement. If people just see a blank screen, they're not going to stop and look at your live stream for sure. And if they're just hearing your audio and they're not seeing you on what is supposed to be a live stream and not like a podcast, they will scroll away. People are not going to stay for that. So that is something that all social media platforms strongly discourage because that doesn't do well. And that's why on places like YouTube, you see a lot of people who are putting podcasts up there with just a static image. Those are not doing as well as they do over on the podcast or comparatively to videos where they're actually seeing the people speak. So you want to keep that in mind. If you're using a video format like live streaming or like YouTube, you want to make sure that there's some type of imagery that's moving and engaging for people to see and then interact with. You can, of course, use that background if you're doing things on a live stream, so don't just use a static image on TikTok, and you can check out that video on how to actually use that green screen. If you're jumping in and you've got questions, I would love to get those answered for you. Go ahead and drop those into the chat box or the comments, and we will get those answered while we're on air today. If you're on the replay, we are going to save those for next week, so go ahead and drop your questions on any of the videos here, and I would love to get those answered for you. Katie jumped in this week. Katie said, you are my go-to for Clubhouse information. I got an invite yesterday, so I still have so much to learn. Katie, I love Clubhouse, and I'm so glad that you're on Clubhouse now with us. I know that we connected, and I'm really excited because we're actually going to plan some cool stuff together to help people grow their businesses over on Clubhouse. But y'all, if you have not checked out Clubhouse yet, it is incredible for growth and networking and making money in your business. If you can get into Clubhouse, make sure you do. You have to be an iPhone user right this second, but they are building out Android now. So that is coming very soon. And you have to know somebody on the app to give you an invitation. So it's invitation only at the moment, but you can reserve your name and hopefully somebody can wave you in earlier rather than later. But make sure you go check out all the videos on Clubhouse. It will really help you build up what you're doing in terms of making money from your biography, because it's so different than any other social platform. And for making sure that you know all the buttons and the etiquette and all the things that you need to know. So go check out those videos. Super helpful. Katie, can't wait to do really cool things with you on Clubhouse. I'm excited that you're here. We did jump into another question. It jumped twice on me. There we go. We jumped into another question. Oh, and Danielle's chiming in from our live audience. She says she's really enjoying Clubhouse. Me too, girl. Me too. I'm loving it. We jumped in. Meet Prof White said, love this tutorial. Thank you. On another note, what equipment software did you use to share your phone screen on the video screen. So when it comes to recording your phone, and in this tutorial, this was all about Instagram threads and how you can be using it to caption some of your videos, you want to make sure that you're screen recording in some fashion if you're doing something on a phone, whether that is on your phone or you're tethering into a computer and using a program like QuickTime. There are multiple ways you can do this, and we have videos on this, so it's on the YouTube page. You can check it out right now, and I show you step by step exactly how to do that. But I just use a basic screen record software. You can record with a microphone or without a microphone, which will actually bring us to our next question in a minute. And then I just superimposed it over top of my video using Adobe Premiere Rush or whatever video editing program you happen to be using. So it's incredibly simple to do, and you don't need a ton of extra equipment to do it. I hope that helps. And then we did guide them through the process of doing that in the comments of that one as well. But check out the videos because I show you step by step exactly how to do it. Deirdre jumped in and said, "This is such an amazing and helpful video. I had no idea. Thank you." We're talking all about how to screen record and how to save those live stream Instagrams, the TikTok Instagrams, the things that aren't naturally saved inside of the platforms. And so I break down exactly how to do that. And that is the video that you need to be looking for. So there you go. You're welcome. And I'm really glad that you enjoyed that and that was helpful for you in growing your business as well, which of course does bring us to that next question. Just recently started using my screen record feature. Just wish it recorded the microphone. Well, Donna, it does. If you are recording on your phone or you're recording tethered to your computer through a system other than your phone, they do allow you to get that microphone. Of course, you're going to have to look it up individually if you are different types of phones, but on your iPhone, I'm not Android, so this is iPhone. On iPhone, all you have to do is go into the screen record setting, and then you just hold your button down on the record and it will pop up with the option of turning on or off your microphone. I recommend you check it every single time. Just because you turned it on once does not mean it's going to be on the second time you go to screen record. So check it every single time and toggle it on or off if you need to. Red means it's on. If it's not red, that means it's off. And then go ahead and do your screen recording. If you're doing something really important that you're screen recording on, I do recommend testing it in a short segment before you do like the big massive one. If you are on Android, Google it or YouTube it. This is a great opportunity to watch some more YouTube videos here, and you can find out how to make sure you're turning on the audio or the microphone for that with your specific phone. Everyone's going to be different. With something like a program you're recording on your screen, they will have buttons to toggle that on and off. And if you are on QuickTime, if you're a Mac user and you're using QuickTime, you're just going to tether your phone to your computer, pull up QuickTime, and then in a little drop-down menu right by the record button, it will allow you to set what you're going to be recording. So the camera source, the microphone source, all that stuff, you can set that right inside of QuickTime. But check out those videos because I show you exactly how to do it over there. Great question, Donna, and I can't wait to see what you are going to be screen recording and putting out here on social as well. If you're jumping in and you've got questions, now's a great time to go ahead and drop those into the comments. I would love to get them answered while we're on air here, but we're taking a look at some that came in earlier this week on some of our YouTube videos. A Lively Perspective jumped in and said, "I need you so I can keep up with what's happening in the social media realm." I am so glad that you're here. You're here every single week checking out all the great videos, and I really appreciate the lovely comments, and I'm glad that we can keep you on top of your game. This week, we actually talked about Instagram Reel cover images, and Instagram has come out and said it's incredibly important to have those cover images. Those perform better in the algorithm system. So you do need to have a cover image that not only goes well with Reels, but goes well with your main feed as well, so that it gets more clicks, more views, more engagement. And we broke down exactly what you need to know and how you need to be designing it for both of those different parts of the platform, because they're different sizes, to make sure that you are getting the engagement that you want and need on your video. So go check that one out. And thanks so much for hanging out and leaving some great comments. The social media diva jumped in and said, "I have a quick reply that is not showing up in my saved replies. How do I change that?" So we dropped a video earlier this week all about how to create Instagram quick replies. These are really cool things triggered by keywords inside of your Instagram direct message system. So when somebody's asking you the same question over and over again, or you have to give out the same freebie over and over and over again, instead of having to type out a paragraph each and every time, all you have to do is trigger it with the keywords, and then you are able to actually jump in there and edit anything that you need to edit. Just change a name or change whatever, change a couple of words to make it make sense, but you don't have to type up the full paragraph. It's already in the system. So if you have a quick reply that is you have created and saved and it's not in your system, it means there's probably a little bit of a glitch, a little bit of a hiccup. So what you need to do, what I recommend you do, pro tip, copy the stuff that you've written, all the words that you've written, Don't write it out every single time. Copy it so that you can paste it back in. And then what I want you to do is do a hard refresh of your app. So you're going to, on an iPhone, you're going to swipe up a little bit, and then it's going to have the little rectangles, and I just want you to swipe up to clear it all the way out. If you are on another type of phone, you're going to clear it out however that happens to work. And then if you are still not able to go back in and have it saved, you need to do a hard refresh of your phone. So if you've copied those words, make sure you paste them into a note so they're still there when you come back. And then you're going to shut your phone down all the way, like all the buttons down until it's black, turn it back on, and that should refresh everything inside of your system, and you should be good to go at that point. And I know we jumped in, we tested that with you, and that worked out. So I'm super glad that that was helpful for you. And if you ever have an issue where something is not sticking in the system or it's not saving properly, always do a hard refresh of the app, swipe that away. And then if that doesn't work, do a hard refresh of your phone. Like shut the whole thing down, bring it back up. Usually that will trigger it to work properly. Great question. Thanks so much for writing in this week. Jason jumped in and said, awesome, thanks. Step by step on how to get this going for my Instagram account. Again, we were talking about Instagram Reels covers. Jason, I'm so glad that you appreciated it. We had another great question from Sydney, and she says, I have two Instagram accounts, but I only have the 30-second feature on one of my accounts for Reels. Do you know why this is happening? So a lot of people have access. Everybody has access to the 15 seconds of Reels, but a lot of people are getting access to 30 seconds of Reels. But one of the most asked questions I am getting this week is, why do I have it on one account but not the other account? Because I'm accessing them through the same phone. And the problem is with that logic that because you're accessing through the same phone, it should work the same way for both. That's not how it works. Instagram rolls and all social media platforms roll out features based on the account, each individual account, and where it's indexed inside of the system, not based on the phone you're using to access it. So it's not about your phone that you're using. It is about where the accounts are. And those are typically based on when they were created, where they're created, all those things. There's a whole host of factors to rolling out different features. Sometimes it's based on location. Sometimes it's based on your phone type. Sometimes the account is indexed in the system. With this feature, we know it's based on where the account is indexed in the system, because some people worldwide have it, some people do not. Some people on certain types of phones have it, some types of certain phones don't have it. So it's not based on the phone type, it's not based on the location, it is based on where it's indexed in the system. So at this point, you may have one account that does have it, and you may have another account that doesn't have it. I have accounts that have it and accounts that don't have it on my phone. It's just based on where they're indexed in the system, and we just have to wait our turns. Unfortunately, it's a thing. So at that point, use it where you can and learn to work around it where you cannot. And pro tip here, we actually know that shorter videos perform better on social media platforms. So just because you want the 30 seconds because you feel like you can get more content in there does not mean you're going to get better engagement or better watch time, because people don't like to spend a lot of time on things. So if you can actually keep it under that 15 seconds, we do recommend that, because that performs better and gets you better engagement. So I know it kind of is not fun to not have it, but it actually kind of works to your benefit. If you've got questions, go ahead and drop those in here. I would love to get those answered for you. And I see some questions coming in. We're going to get to those in just a second. Jesse says, this is awesome. I need to set it up as I'm constantly trying to navigate a client inbox. All about how we can set up those quick replies inside of Instagram direct messaging. They're amazing and they're so helpful. I use them in all of my businesses. I use them to give out freebies when I have contest winners. In my author life, I frequently give out books on my live streams, and everybody asks for the same like 3 or 4 books. They're always looking for the sequels in my series, or they're looking for some of my standalones. And so I can just set that up, type in that trigger word, that keyword, and then I don't have to do the work of going to find the link and get everything ready and like sending all the messages. It saves me so much time and effort, and it's great. So Jesse, I'm glad that you are going to try that. Let me know how it goes for you. Savage Gaming jumped in and said, the green screen effect doesn't show up for me in TikTok. I don't know why. I just hit my 1,000 followers. So on TikTok to live stream, you have to have 1,000 followers, and not everyone gets all the features right away. Some people don't get certain features based on their location. Some people don't get them because they're maybe not in good standing with the platform. Some people don't get them because their phone is not able to handle that particular type of whatever it is. And some people just don't get it because it just doesn't translate over to the system. Sometimes it takes a while. So if you're brand new and you just got there, there's a very good chance you're not going to have a lot of the features because it hasn't given them to you yet. You kind of have to jump in and learn your way around the live streaming game over on TikTok and show that you're doing successful live streams, and then they're going to start giving you more things. But if you want a feature and you don't have it, and you should have it or have the potential to have it, you can always reach out to TikTok or whatever social media platform it is and request that they add it to your system. Sometimes it doesn't go over by glitch. Sometimes it doesn't go over because you haven't earned it yet. And sometimes it's just like a weird thing. So if you reach out to them, they will probably look into that and possibly give that to you a little bit earlier than you might have had it otherwise. So y'all, thank you so much for writing in your questions this week. I do appreciate it. As always, we pull questions from our YouTube videos first, and then the social media platforms and emails, and then we take our live questions as well. Riley is jumping in, and she's actually got a question in terms of author life. So usually we are answering questions on social media strategy when it comes to creating book reviews, specifically for authors, whether it's fiction or nonfiction. You can actually do a couple of different things. So you want to make sure that you're reviewing on all the buying platforms first: Amazon, iBooks, Barnes & Noble. Those are the most helpful for authors, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, business books or fun for reading books. And you want to make sure that you are getting on those buying platforms. That's what helps. BookBub is really, really important as well. So you want to make sure that you are spending time putting things on BookBub because that helps authors to get ads, which means they can make more money. You then want to make sure that you are putting out content on your social media platforms. So if you found a book, whether it is a business book or a fiction book, whatever it is that you loved, you want to shout that out on your social media. That's going to be incredibly helpful for spreading the word when it comes to that. It's going to get a lot of attention as well. And then after that, you can do things like personal blogs or Goodreads or things like that. But the most helpful are the buying platforms, and then BookBub, and then social media. Those are like best things that you could possibly do for that, and to kind of build up your recognition within the industry as well. People are looking for your name. People are looking for people who are doing good work, and that will often lead to more inquiries for asking you to read books and review books for them as well. All right, friends, we do appreciate each and every one of you jumping in and sending in your questions today. If you have more questions on Facebook, on bots, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Clubhouse, on YouTube, live streaming, video production, all those fun, fabulous things, I would love to get your questions answered for you. Go ahead and leave your questions in the comments below, and make sure you check out the resources we've listed in the show notes for you. We got some really cool things that are going to be incredibly helpful for you to grow your business. And we have been talking a lot about Instagram and Clubhouse this week, the way that they are growing the platforms. We got some cool stuff going on, so stay tuned. Friday's new video is going to be really good. I'm working on it right now for you, and you do not want to miss this one. So if you have not hit the subscribe and notification bell, now is the time. Go ahead and take a look at that subscribe and notification bell, and that will keep you up to date on the latest and greatest inside of the social media platform. And I will see you tomorrow as we jump into our Clubhouse conversations every single Thursday and throughout the course of the week. If you're on Clubhouse, come join me. It's just at KM Robinson. I will